It is time for another edition of How Would I End It? I am Tyler Paterson. I am the author of Dark Satellites, The King of Cowards, Whatnot, and Banshire. The Woods should be out shortly, maybe by the time this video is released. Who knows? We'll throw it in there anyways, The Woods. Click the link in the bio below. That'll bring you straight to my Amazon store online. So if you like the way I tell stories, keep it going by supporting art. Today we're going to look at one of my favorite movies growing up. So if we're up to me, here's how I would end Bill and Ted 3. Ba, ba, ba. I want to take a minute to nail down what was so great about the first Bill and Ted movie, the one that kind of made it iconic, and I kind of broke it down into a few different parts. One of them was that it took place in the 80s, and the 80s were a really amazing time because I feel like as a society, we collectively agreed that we made it to the future. We had synth music, we had mustaches everywhere, movies were obsessed with cops and time travel and karate and like hair metal. It was a really, really interesting time. People had crazy sunglasses and like parachute pants. I feel like this has to play into that a little bit, in that Bill and Ted 3 would take place in present day, but present day would be what the 80s believed the future was really like. So let's wrap our heads around that for a second. The whole tone of Bill and Ted as a series is that it's really lighthearted, it's really fun, it's a series of misadventures with two guys that just mean so well, but don't have the execution always pulled off, who get incredibly lucky all the time. And that's what makes it fun. So I wouldn't want to lose that. So at the end of Bill and Ted 2, we learn that they have children named Bill and Ted Jr., and that they bring their musical act to Mars. So in order to kick off Bill and Ted 3, interplanetary time travel is possible, and aliens do exist. We learn that that is a fact. There's neon flying cars, there's funky hair, funky sunglasses, crazy fashion trends. Phone booths have been converted into modes of transport, so cell phones aren't really an idea yet. And that's the idea, that's the kind of future we have to play into. Bill and Ted are the rulers of the country, and their slogan, "Be awesome to each other," prevails. While they're with their beautiful wives, who we know from the first movie were English princesses, they are in their version of the White House, so it's a little bit more rock and roll version of the White House. There's like heavy metal hair riffs everywhere, just everyone's very happy. Society is happy, the world is fairly happy. The different planets that they're in contact with are pretty happy, and it's a good time. There's two advisors who keep coming up to them and saying that they need to prepare for attack because right now everything is super vulnerable. And Bill and Ted are like, no, we have peace, we're good. Those advisors become disgruntled because they don't really have a purpose anymore. They don't really have a place. They leave and go get drunk at a bar on some future drink. There's probably like glowing blue or something fun. They get a call on their giant cell phones. It cuts to Bill and Ted. They get a call on their video phone, which is a big machine. And it's a call from their top scientist on Mars saying that they have uncovered some unusual side effects to a lot of space and time travel. And she shows a cat who's done a lot of space and time travel, and it morphs into a lion real quick. And Bill and Ted are like, yikes, that's crazy, ooh, we should be careful. The scientist from Mars says it's only in extreme cases when people do it all the time. So they're like, noted, great, thank you so much for your work, and they like bow to her and do all that silly stuff. So Bill and Ted have unified the galaxy with music. That's the way that they did it. All of a sudden, they start receiving reports that there's an alien force out there who wants to take that away. Young Bill and Ted attempt to go make peace with these aliens using guitars, karate, and friendship, the kind of foundation on which a lot of 80s art and culture revolved around. I think it shows young Bill and Ted practicing karate in really funny looking gis where they have like the arms cut off and they're black belts, but there's also like neon patches and stuff on it, where they have, they're part of teams called like young Bill and Ted. They're like cool dudes. They're the ones that decide that they're gonna help out their parent and go to meet these aliens and offer some sort of peace. It's worked in the past, it's worked out very well. They go. When they go, they get immediately taken hostage. They're not ready for an alien attack like that. These aliens are big lugs of creatures. Not using CGI though, I wanna make that a point. It's not CGI, it's all puppetry and costume. That's, again, what made the 80s so special, was that a lot of the movies and the special effects in it were not computer generated. They were real. And I think for this movie, to capture that tone again, we need to bring that back. The aliens then put out a warning to Bill and Ted saying if they do not cease playing music and do not surrender, they are going to execute Bill and Ted Jr. So, To get them back, Bill and Ted decide to go on an interplanetary, intergalactic journey to go rescue their kids and restore order. And that's where the basis of the movie really comes in. These idiots. We see the advent of a lot of really cool weapons, which were weapons that the 80s believed that the future held. So things like a drum that's also a machine gun, so whenever you hit the snare, it fires off bullets. There's also guitar lasers, so if you're shredding a sick riff, lasers are shooting out all over the place. And they put a team together. That's what made the first movie a lot of fun, is this unlikely ragtag group of folks getting together towards one central goal. Because they're going through space and because they're blasting off, they decide to grab the OG of the astronauts, Buzz Aldrin. So they jump, they grab Buzz Aldrin, and they bring him back. They grab another space explorer who's kind of a modern day, again, 80s modern day, a space explorer astronaut who's got a little bit of an edge. We see that they go and grab that science expert from Mars. She is Mars's leading scientist, and so they bring her along. They bring a doctor from the galaxy who's this kind of like tired English doctor who never seems like he's caught up with himself. He's just like, oh yes, and this, we're gonna have to inject this crazy thing. And he says it like it's no big deal, and everyone else is like, what? There's a sexy warrior princess alien too, who's this kind of badass, like rough and tough, axe swinging, almost Amazon from another planet. And they bring a professional wrestler. In the 80s, professional wrestling was all the craze with Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. So I think we need a professional wrestler here, and I think it needs to be a luchador. So they have a cool mask on them. And last but not least, they bring someone which I think, a movie like this, given the audience and given the type of people that watch it will really, really enjoy this cameo, is they go and bring Barack Obama. Of course, I will go with you. It'll be great. All their weapons are non-lethal. They just put people into states of like stunned silence. It's like when someone shreds a sick riff on a guitar at a live show, people are kind of in awe, like, whoa. That's what these weapons aim to do. They don't actually aim to hurt or kill or dismember anybody. So when they're bouncing around from planet to planet trying to pick up these folks and trying to get information on their kids, each specific planet is based on a genre of music. So there's the metal planet where everyone's kind of gruff and rare. There's the jazz planet where people are all like cool and just hanging out all the time. There's the pop planet where everyone is very fashion forward and very like energetic and hey, what's up? There's the classical planet where everyone is very put together, very composed. There's all these different planet types. It'll be really fun playing with how to build aliens from those planets. The little adventures they have on each one before they eventually get to the kids. The kids, we find throughout the course of the movie, end up saving themselves, and they save their dad through the power of music, through the power of friendship, and through the power of karate. They teach the aliens how to do some karate, and the aliens are seen punching through like blocks of wood and like karate chopping stuff in half, and they're all like really proud of themselves. And that's what dispels their anger towards Bill and Ted. We finally see that when Bill and Ted get there, they don't have much work to do because the kids have done it all, which portrays the message that the children are the future. Again, another huge 80s theme. And that will come full circle here. The princesses, so their wives, decide that they want to put on an intergalactic music festival so everyone from all different planets can come together and celebrate as one whole unit and celebrate music, which Bill and Ted believe is the universal language. Some fun things I want to see happen in this too are Barack Obama and a laser gun fight, especially with these non-lethal weapons that they have. I think it would be really fun if he's just like, oh, they're gonna get me, and he's pew 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 pew. He's got black sunglasses on, and I want to see the professional wrestler body slam an alien, just come in and like, raw, and then like flex. After it works, there's a lot of resolution there. There's order has been restored to the galaxy. The stakes, which were high, which were we got to get the kids back, has been resolved by the kids, showing that this series of peace and unity and tranquility will continue. Final twist at the very end of the movie that we see is that because George Carlin, who played Rufus, passed away, unfortunately, we need a new Rufus. And we find that Barack Obama becomes the new Rufus. He puts on the sunglasses, it kind of morphs his face a little bit into George Carlin's face for a second, and then he says, be awesome to each other. He gives a thumbs up directly into the camera, breaking the fourth wall. And that's how I would end Bill and Ted.